So Logan Paul is no stranger to this channel, and I think we can all agree that 2023 hasn't been his best year so far. Well, on social media that is, because on paper, the guy is still arguably one of the biggest YouTubers out there. He is now a pro wrestler, is the face of what he claims is a multi-billion-dollar sports drink company, and yeah, he's also a boxer. Now, I'm obviously no personal trainer or fitness guru, but I've always thought that he had to be on something and didn't really think much of it, didn't really care. But now that he has an upcoming fight, again, is selling a product that he claims is healthier than the competition, Prime, and similar to the Liver King, is running around claiming that he's all natural, I thought it would be a good time to revisit the subject, and especially since more YouTubers are coming out, putting out great videos, and brought out some really good points that I actually missed in the past. And also Andrew Schultz, who is technically the only one that has ever pressed Logan Paul about being on something, kind of agreed with Dylan Daddies while they were trashing Logan Paul and saying that he had to obviously be on something.
Well, at least you accused him of the steroids, and you did that. I'll give you that, because he's juiced for sure.
I just don't believe anyone with a better body than me is not steroids.
Bro, look at it, bro. To be that tall and have that muscle mass is almost impossible.
I think it's being lean that's really difficult.
Lean,
the
big
mass
arms,
and being lean.
His legs are very skinny.
And,
you see his legs?
But that's good for you, you're saying?
No, I'm just saying in general. It's a weird body type. Like, it's just upper body, and his legs are skinny.
It's proof of steroids.
You know what's weird too? Yeah, like when you
Proof
see
of
him, he's
steroids.
big here, and then when he turns,
means
it's like
he'll work out
stick, like going this way. You know what I'm talking about?
So that's this guy.
Yeah. We just don't work out good. We focus
You're
more
not
on upper
big,
body.
though. Stop it.
This guy is a
Yeah,
little
should I give him a little?
I mean, just
Hey,
I think
nope,
I think a little tickle.
Yeah?
Just a little.
Come on, stand up. We get in the bear hug.
Nope.
See what's stronger.
Nope. Keep it
Okay, that's
playful.
fine. Then we'll get into it.
Nah, we ain't.
I'll put you to sleep on the floor here, bro.
Do black guys go to sleep quicker?
They sue faster.
Do they really? Really?
No, we don't.
Nah,
Stop
nah,
it.
but actually, they sue, I guess, not. It's the opposite, faster.
Slower.
Like you are the opposite.
It just sounded bad.
Dude, just come on pause and be like this.
It's just stupid if I said he's too slower.
Now you gotta go
Try.
core.
Yeah, trust me.
This is the muscles that you have.
Try.
Can you take the shit Logan's on? Just like look a little better.
No, I don't want you
You put
muscles.
steroids in your chin, bro.
Oh,
That's a you bar. put him in your
God damn.
can't.
We will look at some things that point towards him not being natty, but I think it's pretty obvious. What I find way more interesting is the similarities between him and the Liver King situation, and the fact that his personal shadiness somehow always trickles down to every single business venture he goes into. For example, being on the juice is not a bad thing. A lot of people don't care about it, and it's very common in the entertainment industry. But there is a reason why big actors and people that are on it are not running around picking fights, real fights with people that they're really beefing with, and then claiming that they're all natural. By the way, before we continue, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It helps out the video so much, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm not on steroids. I don't know how many times I need to clarify this. I don't know why we aren't doing USADA or VADA testing.
Well, yeah, because
the conversation was never had between
because
me and Dylan.
JJ is doing it with
I'm more than happy to do it. I'm more than happy to do it. I just do have
No,
one.
I'm gonna force you to do it.
I'll do it.
You're not gonna tell me that to say yes all the time.
You're fired. Nah, I do have one request. Dylan laughed at me in the face-to-face, but if I do a drug test, I want him to do an STD test. I'm just curious what's going to show up.
He lied about wanting to go 8, 10, 12 rounds. He won't do it. He lied about the bet. He lied about me denying Olympic level drug testing. He just makes
Oh, really?
shit up.
Did he want to do? Did you not care about the drug
I don't
test?
give a
Wait, really?
I don't give a Yo.
Nah, you gotta care.
Bro, you have to be on something. You're
very
looking
jacked.
crazy.
Shut
I'm being serious. You have to be on something.
Shut up, Andy.
Come on, dude.
Can you just?
There's nothing-
Rogan has admitted to it. Like, have you ever taken testosterone in your life?
Peptides, a little peptide thing.
Guys,
I'm trying to be nice.
Creatine. Creatine.
guys,
Bro,
This is
Milton?
I
Where's
think-
Milton? This is chicken and rice, bro? This is a Puerto Rican diet? I've never
I've
seen a
been-
Puerto Rican with abs in my life.
Prime.
it's honestly it's because I drink Prime.
Liver King, let's go.
I know, but yeah, it's really Liver King shit, right? Like, come on, stop.
Hold on. There's
I said, Dylan, I said, how about this? You want to do your USADA testing? I'll do a USADA test. You take an STD test. The results are public. He laughed at me.
and he wouldn't do it.
Of course he won't do it. He's gonorrhea walking.
No.
He's gonorrhea walking, bro.
No.
Now, when it comes to deflecting and media training, I think we can all agree that Logan Paul is one of the very best at it. It's very clear from the Dylan Dennis face-off that he's able to perform and stay cool and just put up an act in front of a camera. And again, he's very effective at it. So because of that, him being able to look into his eyes or directly into the camera and say that he's not on anything doesn't really carry any weight, and I don't really take it as the truth. And I do think Alex Media and Andrew Schultz did a pretty good job at trying to press Logan Paul and basically telling him that there's no way that he's not on anything. And it's funny that Logan Paul thinks that for some reason offering to do a USADA test only if Dylan accepts to do an STD test is somehow a checkmate, but it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, I get that it's a troll, but it's basically just another way to deflect and dance around the subject because, similar to the Liver King situation, they both could have just came out and said, you know what, I'll do a test, or this is my negative test results, like game over. But instead, they both lie and try to go into these narratives and stories that hopefully let them change the subject.
There's a lot of subprimals that are convinced that Liver King is taking steroids. Right, and this is one of my
asking.
We're gonna have to ask.
I had
you.
somebody come up to me in the elevator. I think it might have been the guy that yelled at you.
This is one of my favorite topics.
Is Liver King natty?
Do you think if I was on steroids, I would have these appendages down here, these legs?
Have legs?
Do you see how little my legs are? I started working out about 8 or 9 years old.
I'll do whatever, bro. I've had this physique.
No, this is different, bro.
Stop it, bro.
I just felt it. Bro.
And also, once again, similar to the Liver King situation, Logan Paul owns a massive sports drink company that essentially relies on him being or looking like a super athlete so that he's able to market the drink and sell it as a better or healthier replacement to the other sports drinks. Now, I personally never thought that sports drinks were going to be causing a problem with obesity or anything like that, but I guess that's the problem that Logan Paul decided to tackle. But my only argument to that would be, if Logan Paul really believes that less ingredients and less chemicals in a drink means that it's healthier, wouldn't it be the same thing for the human body? Wouldn't it be just healthier to not take any additional chemicals and then just try to keep it as natural as possible? But it is weird how shocked Logan Paul is to find out that somebody that's much older than him is not taking any chemicals. And in fact, he says that he feels way better by just keeping it natural.
Are you on stem cells?
No, I'm not on stem cells or peptides, but
You're not on either.
no
test,
but no,
NAD plus.
no.
God damn.
This surprises
Somadome?
me.
The only thing he's on
you
is
strike
a
me as a
skin.
biohacker, not a somadomer.
Yeah,
the skin, 'cause the skin.
but I'll tell you, it's like I do my blood work every year, but I've found
We do it every week.
Every
Once a
quarter,
week.
I do my blood work.
right. So because I want to make change in it, right, and so my blood-brain barrier, my leaky gut, my testosterone, my cholesterol, all these things.
Now, that conversation alone is not concrete evidence that he is taking anything, but it is worth pointing out that he was pretty shocked and surprised that Rob, who is a multi-millionaire, more than that, wasn't taking any chemicals and wasn't checking his blood on a weekly basis. And also, if you look at George's reaction when Logan Paul is talking about that stuff, it says it all. I mean, Logan is already on another level talking about biohacking, living to 150 years old, Superdome. Like, it almost feels like you're watching an episode of Silicon Valley and just listening to billionaires speak about wanting to live forever. So after hearing him talk like that, it would be very shocking if he was actually all natural. There's also people with YouTube channels that actually know what they're talking about, like More Plates, More Dates, who is Logan Paul's boogeyman. He has made a few videos about Logan Paul, pretty long videos, basically going over Prime, going over if Logan Paul is natty or not, and they're pretty good. So because of that, there was a point even when Logan Paul was on Flagrant that Andrew Schultz was about to mention Derek from More Plates, More Dates, and Logan Paul cut him off, just said that he didn't want to say his name at all.
So do you know that our podcast was the first public forum where he was asked about doing steroids, and he that was the first time he lied.
Yep.
The first
Who asked him?
Andrew Schultz and crew on Flagrant.
No. Who asked him on our podcast?
Somebody just threw it out. I don't know.
But he denied. So,
But he denied it hard, bro.
And continued to do so every
Other
podcast and interview that he did.
Yeah.
He would deny having used steroids, and like we all knew that he was lying. And then he got exposed for being on a shit, like a lot of shit, like
$12,000 worth of month.
so.
But he's selling a product. That's my only issue.
So that's
my issue, bro.
bingo, and it's everyone's issue, and that's why it's bad, because liver didn't get you to where you are.
Injecting your ass.
Now, the fact that Logan Paul actually decided to comment on the Liver King situation when he got exposed is pretty wild. Could you imagine if Logan Paul out of nowhere started talking about how other have allegedly scammed their audiences with NFTs and cryptos, everyone would look at him as a hypocrite because how could you talk about that while you yourself went through something similar? Now, once again, taking stuff, juicing, being on something is not that big of a deal, I don't think. But when it comes to people like Logan Paul, who are huge influencers, he is still a massive brand and has a lot of fans that are on the younger side. So because of that, they could be easily influenced to think that what he's doing is achievable by being 100% natural, which, I don't know, I guess you could get into a debate about whether that's good or not. But the point is that if you're lying, I guess, to motivate people, younger people, whatever, I guess it's fine. But once there's billions of dollars involved, like Logan Paul says it gets a little bit sketchy.
Derek Moore Plates and everyone who's like done their analysis on Logan, they all said he's on gear, right?
I mean, the thickness of the veins, the thick. Your veins don't get that thick in diameter like this quick. Like you don't go from this year to this year and your thickness just goes like that because you trained a little more. It doesn't work that way.
For example, I would think it's super hard, almost impossible to mess up being a professional wrestler. There's a huge industry around it. It's been going on forever and it's pretty much scripted, right? But then you have a social media superstar like Logan Paul who gets there and then he essentially creates a character that is promoting one of his NFT companies because, you know, the Pokemon card that he has, I believe that's one of the companies that allows him to purchase collectibles and then offer it to people so that they can buy it in smaller pieces so that you own a little piece of that Pokemon card and not necessarily the whole thing.
I can tell you the following. The most expensive Pokemon trading card sold at a private sale is a PSA Grade 10 Pikachu illustrated card, $5,275,000 on July 22nd, 2021. You are officially amazing.
This is the coolest thing ever, but it's even cooler that you, yes, you at home, can own this card with me. Right into the plug. Right?
So this was a very hard decision to make, but yes, I will be listing this card on a platform that I co-founded called Liquid Marketplace. It allows co-ownership of top-tier assets. So instead of one person, me owning this card, we as a collective can co-own it together. I'll also be listing it for $5 million instead of the $5.3 million I bought it for. So basically, I'll be giving you guys $300,000 discounts because everyone likes discounts. And
not only that, but he also has Prime coming in with, you know, KSI being dressed up and all that stuff that I'm sure a lot of other wrestlers they don't get that same privilege. At the end of the day, I'm not a pro wrestling fan and it's entertainment and I guess it's working, but it does seem kind of weird the way that Logan Paul does just anything. I think it's because he always tries to squeeze the most amount of value out of every single situation. I think that's what it is. But hey, it's entertainment and it's working, so who cares? But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. It helps out so much. And we're close to 100,000 subs. Dislike if you didn't like the video. But that is all we have for today. Oh, by the way, I'm glad to be back in the studio. The shirt that I'm wearing should be up on the website soon, comedyenforcement.com. I'm still working on that store. But yeah, that's pretty much the only plug that I have for today. See ya.